very special thank you to Langa Mavuso. We really, really appreciate having you here today. So, it was just put in my spirit to remind you guys that our words have power. You know, when Langa was saying that, I think it's really, really important that we do not forget the power of prayer. And most importantly, the power of our tongues and the light and the life that we have on the inside of us. So I'm going to need everybody to open up their mouths and repeat after me. God is still God. God is still good. All things are working for my good. Do you feel it? Amazing. Okay, I would like to acknowledge the former First Lady of the Republic of South Africa. She is the wife of Mr. Kgalema Motlanthe. Thank you so much for being in attendance. We appreciate you and we acknowledge your presence here today. So, you know, in the music industry, we also have protocol to observe. Like, you know, there's the super megas, there's the DJs, Zintles, and the Muslis, but we also have bosses and people who stand, you know, on top of us, who are regulators, who make things happen. So these are people who worked very, very closely with Keenan to help bring his vision in the music and entertainment industry to life. I'd please like to welcome representatives from Fifth Season, T-Effect, Move, and Sony.
Good afternoon, everybody. And I want to start by saying, well, I'm Sean, and I had the privilege of working with Keenan at his record label throughout his career. I want to start by saying thank you to the Forbes family for inviting us to speak here today. It's truly an honor that as Sony we can contribute to celebrating Keenan with you. I'm going to be brief, but with your permission, instead of talking about Keenan today, I'd like to say a few things to Keenan. There's a few things that maybe we should have said to him more when he was here. Hopefully, a lot of what we did with Keenan implied that these things were part of our relationship. To the young Keenan that met us for the first time at the start of his career, thank you for taking a massive leap of faith and gifting us the honor of being your record label. It was a more daunting decision at the time than I think any of us knew and couldn't have known, because only you knew what lay ahead in your dreams and how much of a chance you were taking on us believing in them like you do. But know that we did, and I pray that as many of them as possible came true in your short stay with us. Artists like you, Keenan, are the reason why people like me and all of us at Sony Music joined the industry. Artists who'll go to the ends of the earth to be the greatest. Artists like you who take us along with them on a journey of passion and dedication, creative brilliance, a journey of love. Thank you, Keenan, for sharing the most vulnerable version of yourself with us and being willing to listen to what we think and what we believed was best for you. Thank you for challenging us to be better. Thank you for caring enough to be honest with us about your dreams and your vision and your goals. Thank you for rolling up your sleeves and getting in the trenches with us and doing the hard yards with us shoulder to shoulder, never standing off the responsibility of being somebody that had to work on himself and that wasn't up to everybody else. Thank you for being a legend. You will forever remain in our hearts, and for as long as we are entrusted to, we will honor your legacy and say your great name wherever we go with pride. We will miss you. We salute you, Keenan. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, King. Damn, Pops. I'm
Stay
Benza.
strong, Pop. Stay strong.
Today I want to Keenan entrusted us all here with his dream, to make his dream come true. It wasn't an easy task, and it was a heavy load, but we would work hard and we try our very best. But I want to say one thing: as much as he trusted us, we wouldn't have done it without everyone here, without the legacy, without his parents, without his friends in the music industry. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for making it easier for us to help Keenan reach his dream. We did it one performance at a time, one single at a time, one album drop at a time, one show at a time, one accolade at a time, and one awards at a time. I also want you to not quit now. I want you to roll up your sleeves, because the work continues. We need your help more than we ever needed your help to make sure that Keenan's legacy continues. And that is a promise, and that's what we here we're going to do. And we need all of you, especially the legacy. Live long, Super Mega. Live long.
Live long, King. We're going to
Long
find
live
out
Super
for
Mega,
sure.
live long.
We're going to find out for sure.
Thank you, Benza. Condolences to the family. Mamlin, Tony Forbes, Steph, Nadia, Zintle, and the rest of the family. I'm praying for you. Cairo. I didn't prepare anything.
Look at her, look at her, look at her.
I know sometimes I'd go and represent Keenan as his manager and go into meetings and go like, I'm gonna go to meet someone. Someone is like, hey,
Oh my
how are you
God.
dressed? Are you looking the part for me? You're representing me, Chief. You know, and I think today, first of all, you know, I didn't have a chance, but I gladly did it. You know, running up and down, sweating, and still am, and making sure that everything is running, and I'm gonna make sure that I serve you forever as I promised to do so. Contract or no contract with you, I'm always serve Keenan. And that's what he also, you know, taught us, you know, everybody that really works with him. He really challenged us to be the best, you know. I could have never imagined where I come from, that I would work with a superstar such as Keenan, and a global superstar, may I add. He challenged our vision, you know, how we execute, and yeah, at the beginning it was hard. I was like, why is this guy, you know? But he saw the best. He saw what I didn't even see in myself at the time. When he really picked me up, at the first it's like, hey, Tiama, I need you to become my road manager. And I was like, oh, okay. Drinks, girls, no. And it never got to that. I didn't even drink at the time. And then later, obviously, you know, gave me the opportunity to also become his manager, you know, where then I managed his business interests, and I was very honored, yet burdened. And I keep my promise for as long as it is to you, the Forbes family, that we are going to keep the legacy on. The legacy continues. There's some things that I learned from Keenan, such as courage, you know. He never wanted to settle for less. And I mean, coming from my humble beginnings, I'll be like, I said, I did this all this, so I want to corner. And then he'll come like, no, we're going to do it the right way, and we're going to do it this way, you know. So I'm not going to apologize for any promoter that we gave a hard time on tech riders and everything here, or any brands that we really said no to, respectfully declined. He knew what he wanted. He knew his story. And he taught me that, and I will always remember that. But also, there's a relationship that he really quite enjoyed towards the end of, you know, his life. So forget about my relationship, but Wanele, can you just show me some pictures up on the screen? It's really, every time that he wanted us to get on stage, he would ask us, guys, yes, we can do it. We've done it 100 times before. We've done it, but let's pray. And I know he walked the journey, Pastor Mabalani, Really used to connect with him every week. Kam Teta, I used to, call him now and then, and they would pray together. And there's some various pastors also that he would call spiritual fathers. And I was really proud of, this. And it really made me strong as well, and that's an intimate relationship with God. So yes, you can come and say quizzes here and here, mang Bible verse, what. No, that's not, I'm not talking about that when I said, do you know God? He knew God, and his was a personal, intimate relationship. And can you just also move to the next one? So after he passed, this picture right here was taken 2 days before he passed. Literally 2 days before he passed, and I had to reflect over the past week, and I go like, okay, this is the journey that he was going, connecting with pastors, asking us to pray, and all that. And this, for me, the way I interpret it, is the heaven receiving him. That is his last photo shoot ever. And and I will take with me all that he had taught me. Forbes family, I am at your service as well. We're going to do this regardless. Thank you.
That was a tough one, brother. AKA Reimagined. My name is Mahlatsis Tole, CEO of Move. Many refer to me as Zaz, but you can think of me as my brother's keeper. I'd like to open a quote from Proverbs 19, verse 21, which says, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails." Keenan and I had a lot of plans, but more especially, I had plans for Keenan. As Move, we were tasked with taking Brand AKA to the maximum level by unpacking and presenting opportunities to brands and businesses that wanted to collaborate with them. What we as Move and Brand AKA were about to do was unimaginable. We were going to make the world reimagine the man, the myth, and the legend that is AKA. Today is not only our last presentation to Keenan, but a presentation of Keenan to the world. So ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to reintroduce my friend, my confidant, my spiritual advisor, but above else, my brother, Keenan Jared Forbes. I find it quite difficult to sum up a friend in a matter of minutes, but I will paint a picture, a perfect picture, through keywords and stories that capture the true essence of the person that Keenan was from a business perspective. Unwavering. In true fashion, in true style, Keenan was the type of individual, especially when it came to work, always demanded the best. And he wanted the level of intensity and work ethic to be matched. He never wavered. And when it came to conducting businesses and deals, he was very vocal in how he wanted things to be done. He always trusted his gut. Keenan and I connected because we both refused to be ordinary. In fact, we do the ordinary in an extraordinary way. I remember the time Keenan called me and asked me if I could take over his cruise account. I thought, why me? And why now? It turns out Keenan had been doing his research on me. After many years of traveling the road and performing alongside hip-hop artist Kulichana, I took a different direction. That was to further my education, ultimately leading me to open my own agency, to which Keenan, Brand AKA, would become a client. Keenan's love for his brand was second to none. He demanded the best out of everyone who touched his brand. The cruise partnership was the longest in history for a musician or a hip-hop artist in South Africa. I always used to say to Keenan, it's never about who does it first, it's about who does it right. Keenan and I were yin and yang. In most meetings, good cop, bad cop. There were days when we'd alternate, but I can tell you, majority of the time, he was the bad cop. With his unwavering conviction and strong belief, we would find ourselves doing it his way. And even if it was doing it our way, he would still take credit for it. Pioneering. Keenan had a sheer vision and an insight to see something from its inception right through to the end. In fact, I could argue that he was able to see things ahead of time. When he brought Move on board, he explained to me the importance of the golden thread, especially when it came to his brands. Zaz, he would say, do you know where the inspiration for the cruise flavors come from? To which I'd say, no, tell me. He would then reply, growing up, we would all eat chappies, correct? To which I said, yes. He then said to me, what flavors do you remember? At that moment, it hit me. I realized what Keenan was referring to was the golden thread. At every touch point, he wanted to be deeply connected with the South African nostalgia. Cruise Watermelon went from being a limited edition product to being one of the most sold nationwide in its category. After an unprecedented success of Cruise Watermelon flavor, Keenan's pioneering spirit and never settle attitude would lead us to create something unique within the spirit industry. A banana flavored vodka, the Cruise Banana. Many do not know this, but before Cruise Banana, we had actually intended to roll out a grape flavored Cruise vodka, but that's a story for another day. Principled. Anybody who changes his principles depending on whom we deal with is not fit to lead. Nelson Mandela. Keenan was a very principled individual who never, ever shied away from being vocal and expressing himself. There was a time when we almost concluded a business transaction with a luxury brand. This brand had gone the full Monty, the whole bells and whistles. The day before, we concluded the CEO gave us a call and wanted to change the terms of our engagement. Not only did he try to change the terms of our engagement, how he spoke to my partner, Sibu, and I was rather condescending, to say the least. Keenan heard the conversation and, to our surprise, put the phone on mute and said, I'm canceling this. He proceeded to unmute the phone and speak to the CEO and said, this is Keenan, we hear you. Thank you for your time and effort, but we will no longer be proceeding with this transaction. We were shocked. Why would you do that? We were about to make history. He kept quiet for a while and listened to us. Boys, I've been down this road before, and as someone who was born in an era where we had to fight for our space, that call reminded me of that. We know our value, but as my brothers, I will never let anyone speak to you or me in that manner, and therefore, we cannot proceed with this deal.
Okay, I feel that.
That moment humbled us, and the room went quiet. That was a true testament of Keenan's principles and integrity. No matter what, the relationship always comes first. Creative. Keenan's creativity was truly remarkable. I remember the time we were sitting and constructing the creative for the Mass Country album cover. I want to encompass everything that is truly me and everything that is truly Mass Country. I want the Karoo, the desert, the Kusheshe, everything culture, yabo? He then proceeds to ask, Zaz, who can do this? After a few calls, we finally got a hold of Karabo Popi, and the rest is what the album cover is today. Keenan would spend endless amount of hours researching on how he could better his craft, be it lights, visuals, or stage presence. At every touch point, whether you're listening to his music, indulging in his cannabis, or consuming his alcohol products, there was a golden thread. Dedicated. Keenan was the type of person who would wake you up at 4 a.m. to play you a song 100 times, call you at 7 to ask what his day is looking like, call you at 10, have you hit the gym, call you at 12 to tell you he's running late for a 2 o'clock meeting, call you at 2 o'clock and tell you, where are you, man? Lastly, he would call you at 7 to say he's heading home to the studio. A true definition of an entrepreneurial spirit. Keenan, if I had to talk about your work ethic, it would put majority of us to shame. I'd like to mention some of the never done before milestones Keenan was able to achieve. First African, urban hip hop to hit over 1 billion streams. Created 2 vodka flavors, watermelon and banana, with global brand Cruise Vodka, and went over to sell 1.2 million bottles. That's roughly 700,000 liters. Sold over 8 platinum records. He was the first South African rapper to win the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Award. Sold out a 30-piece orchestra. His recent 2022 hit single, Lemon's Lemonade, became certified platinum after coming back from his 2-year hiatus. You, sir, have broken barriers that many have not done. But above all else, through it all, you remained Keenan Jared Forbes, through and through. In closing, I'd like to extend my gratitude and thank the brands and business partners who stuck by Keenan, even when it was not fashionable to do so. To the Forbes family, you will forever have a special place in our hearts. To Catherine, thank you for being the super glue that held us all together through it all. And lastly, I'd like to thank the Megacy for always, and I mean always, supporting the Super Mega. We are taking Mass Country triple platinum. I'd like to leave you with the following quote from one of his songs. Like the world is a disco ball, and God is a DJ, dropping all the hits I'm on. Wherever I'm at, I know you miss me. So stay close to the screen so you can kiss me. I hope you got somebody you can lean on. Toast up, who's ever been gone? Post up, I never really leave home. Don't stop giving me what I need, love.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, not only for your speeches and your words today, but for everything that you did for Keenan and the AKA brand. You guys really, no shame. Can we actually give them a round of applause? Game-changing collaboration.